Richard here, fancy some pie? Here's my perfect pecan recipe. So today we're going to make an American classic pecan pie. Perfect for Independence Day, perfect for any other day too really. So to start we'll make the sweet pastry. First we mix together the dry ingredients, the flour, sugar and salt. Mix them up well because it's the only chance you'll get. Next add the cubed butter, make sure it's cold otherwise you'll never be able to handle it properly. Tease the butter through the flour with your fingers till it makes a fine breadcrumb consistency. Then add the egg and mix it all together with a spoon. Once the pastry has come together, tip it out onto a floured surface and knead it for 1 minute. Then pat the dough out into a disc, wrap it up in cling film, and pop it into the fridge to cool for 30 minutes. So now we start with the filling. Luckily, we have 4 types of sugar going in. So we'll start by putting in the maple syrup. I like to measure it on the scale so you don't get any wastage. Next goes in the golden syrup. Next goes in the golden caster sugar. You can use regular sugar if you want, but if you're putting in maple syrup and golden syrup, you might as well put rich stuff in too. And lastly, because it's not sweet enough, we put in 50 grams of brown sugar. Now we pop this on the stove with a little bit of butter and let it all melt together. Now we need to take it off the heat and leave it to cool before we add the egg. Obviously, if you add the egg now, you get scrambled egg in your cake, which isn't as nice as it could be. So while the mixture cools, crack 3 eggs into a jug, add some vanilla and some rum and beat it all together. So if you've got rum specially for this recipe, you'll end up with almost a bottle left. Not bad really. So here I have 300 grams of pecans. I'm going to select out 100 grams worth of really good looking ones, just to decorate the top. So once you've selected out the pretty ones, you can roughly chop up the rest. Now I like my pecan pie with great big lumps in it, but feel free to hack them up small if you want. So pastry's chilled now, time to roll it out. Now you've got to work quick before it warms up again and melts the butter. Lay it out onto a floured surface and then roll and rotate until it's at least 30 centimetres wide. Yeah. Making careful not to rip the pastry, press it gently into the edges of the pie dish and prick the bottom with a fork. Then into the freezer for 15 minutes to chill. Take your chilled pie case out of the freezer, line it with crunched up parchment paper, fill it with baking beans and stick it in the oven for 15 minutes. Take your pie case out of the oven. Remove the parchment paper, turn the oven down to 140, brush the base with egg and pop it back in for 8 minutes. Right, so that's the pie case cooled. Now it's time to assemble the filling and pop it in the oven. Pour your egg mixture into the syrup and mix them together really well. Now the egg's mixed in, time to add the nuts. Right, now we pour it in. This is a really good dessert for sharing. Frankly, it's a really good dessert for eating all by yourself as well. Now I'm going to spend ages arranging pecans on the top. So after going to so much effort making a pie as beautiful as this, you might as well send us in a picture. Right, so that's the pecans on the top. Time to go into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. So there we are, out of the oven, cooled down and ready to eat. Perfect for a summertime party.